Hello everybody, this is Candy Mossett with the Indigenous Environmental Network. I have been reading comments and different shares that were going on the update that I gave earlier, and it was making me really nervous because people were saying things that didn't make any sense to what I had shared earlier. And so I am doing another update, and I deleted the other one because you weren't listening. You weren't listening to me. Listen to me. Okay. All right. So there was a meeting yesterday with Colonel Henderson of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers from the Omaha District Office. And he met with the different tribal chairmen and with the reps here. What happened was, on November 1st, there was a letter put out, and I'm going to share that letter so you can read it yourself. And that letter was about having police help remove people that were starting a further out camp, further away from Oceti-Sakowin, because there were some teepees and stuff that were put up. So that letter, he has said he's going to rescind that letter and not, request further assistance from the police. So that's one issue. That's a separate thing. He's going to rescind that letter, asking for police assistance to help remove anybody from, Corland. Okay. Dakota Access Pipeline, Energy Transfer Partners, is anywhere from 2 to 5 days from completing the work. So, they're anywhere from 2 to 5 days up to the Missouri River, and then they'll be ready to bore. We know that. That's not a good thing, but that's what their update is. They put up a pad site. There's a potential that pad is partially on Corland. That has to be looked into. And if that is on Corland, that's in violation. They are not allowed to build or construct onto Corland. Private land, yes. They bought Cannonball Ranch in what is being talked about as an illegal land sale, because we have a North Dakota anti-corporate farming law which protects farmers and ranchers from the industry. So that's being disputed right now. At any rate, that right now technically is their private land, and so that's why they're constructing. The Corps is going to ask them to stop. That doesn't mean that they're going to. So anywhere from 2 to 5 days of construction left, and they're to the river. Okay? So, and I said earlier, I don't want to give any false hope. I don't want people to be like, yay, it's all over, let's go home, because that's not the case. But there are delays, the potential for delays to happen. Every single delay that happens costs them every day. And that is what is being talked about here. So we still need everybody, brother and sister. That was Dallas. Dallas was trying to call me. Every time I do these, I forget to push mute on my phone, so I'm sorry. He's probably going to keep calling me. He's probably calling me and telling me to stop giving an update. But, so what we're looking at, okay, are potential delays. And so that is good for us. But the DC office, the Washington, DC Army Corps of Engineers office, still has the authority to approve the easement underneath the Missouri River to bore, for the company to bore underneath the Missouri River. So we still need everybody to continue to help us to push the Army Corps of Engineers, not in the DC office, not to grant the easement, not to grant the permit to bore underneath the Missouri River, and to require a full environmental impact statement. So we are really excited about the potential and the possibility for delays Because when this company started building this pipeline, they never had the permit. And they just said it was a formality. Oh, we're just going to construct, we're just going to start building, and we'll get the permit once we get to the water. Should have never done that. Now they're to the water, anywhere between 2 and 5 days completing. So, you know, we're still here, we're still in the camp watching them on the hill. And so that really sucks. You know, they're still being, you know, protected right as of right now. There's still cops sitting on the hill. They're still over there protecting them. And, you know, we want them to stop right now. We can't legally make them, is what I'm saying. But with the potential for delays, that means that we have more hope and we have more chances of making sure that this company, that it just doesn't make any sense for them to continue doing what they're doing. And then President Obama, some of you may have seen him, he said the words reroute. He also said we need to you know, respect treaty rights, and that was huge. That was a really big deal. And so that's good news. We do not, I do not, many of us here do not support a reroute, but it's important for people to know that even uttering those words could effectively kill this project because they cannot possibly afford it. So, I mean, you could say that, and then that could effectively kill the project. And so that's why that's important. Some of you were reposting my post from earlier, and I know you mean well. But it was like, the Army Corps is rescinding this letter, which means DAPL has to stop working. No, that's not what I said. Yes, they rescinded a different letter about not, you know, removing water protectors, but that wasn't the same thing. And Colonel Henderson has, you know, he's doing his best from the Omaha office to work with us and to do what he can. And so I just wanted to repost this to give you an update to say that we had a little shimmer of hope, you know, that little tiny point over there that we saw. And it's the first time we've gotten that little shimmer of hope in a really long time. But we're still dealing with all kinds of stuff. Hi, Dean.
Hello.
Do you want to say anything?
Is that live?
Yeah. Dean is this really amazing drone guy. You need to know him. And I'm going to interview him, so I'm going to turn it around to you, Dean.
Yeah. How's it going out there, Facebook Live world? It's a long day, flying a drone around, you know, catching all the beautiful views of the camp, you know. Tired.
What did you see from up there?
I saw a lot of things, you know, camp and the river and the destruction of DAPL. Yeah, it was good. Good day to fly. These past 3 days were really awesome to fly a drone. So you know, we didn't have no problem with the wind or the temperature. It was really cool. It was awesome. I'm tired. I gotta go. I think I gotta go to sleep.
Okay. Thanks, Dean.
Yeah,
that was Dean, everybody. Drone to be wild. So check him out.
Tom, check out AJ Plus.
Check out AJ Plus, he just said. Check out AJ Plus. So yeah, that earlier post, everyone was getting confused, which I was afraid of was going to happen. But I said I don't want to give any false hope because I don't want to give false hope. We still have a fight ahead of us. We do. And we understand that, but every delay we can get and every single person we can get out there to talk to the DC office for the Army Corps of Engineers to say, do not grant the easement, do not grant the permit, protect the Missouri River for everyone. You know, not just the 18 million people downstream, but for everyone. And so, posting here, I deleted my earlier post, and so I wanted to again send my shout outs to Chairman David Archambault for all that he's carrying, for everything that he's been doing for this movement. Everybody send prayers for him because he's a tough guy, you know. He's like, yeah, I can handle it, you know, tough. He doesn't say that, but that's me imitating him. And you know what? He can use prayers. I know he can. He's carrying a lot, you know, and he's trying the best that he can. And we really appreciate that he is doing this as a tribal chairman, standing up and speaking out and listening to the youth and listening to, you know, all the people that are in the fight. They did approve, the tribal council did approve the 50 acres for us to go ahead and build the camp, the permanent camp on Standing Rock. And so we just need to do a walkthrough for making sure that that camp doesn't have anything there that could be potentially sacred or anything, and then we can begin building the earth lodges and the tiny houses and the straw bale buildings and making that just transition community. So that's pretty cool, you know, to be able to finally move forward. It was a long process to make sure that the community was involved and that they wanted this, and, you know, making sure everybody here is okay with us. And I'm sorry for the little dings. I forgot to put my mute on. That's happening. That did happen. The council did approve that, which is really great. Shoot. I don't know how to mute it now that I'm live. What else? Jamie from Oklahoma. I'm still sending you love, still sending you a shout out. Jamie came here and she drove from Oklahoma, left her 2 children, and she got here. I didn't see her until last night. She told us, you know, she was really sad. She didn't have a good experience when she came here. I don't know exactly what happened, but she just didn't feel very welcome. And I told her, you know, people are dealing with PTSD here after being attacked, you know, this past week twice, you know, being shot by rubber bullets, being sprayed in the face. You know, I myself got pushed by somebody who's been in our camp. He's been with us, you know, hanging out with us, and he pushed me into the police line. But, you know, I said it earlier and I'll say it again to the individual. I forgive you. I do. And to Jamie, you know, please forgive us for not being there to be able to welcome you in a good way. And if you're still here, you know, come and see me. If you're not still here, if you're driving home, please know that we're sending our love to you. And I'm sorry that you had a bad experience. For people that are coming, the camp has grown. For people that are coming, please, you know, we're doing our best out here. Please try to be self-sufficient. Please try to connect with somebody before you come so that you know what your lodging situation is going to be, so that you know you're not going to be cold, that you have somewhere to stay. It's really hard to get phone calls like, hey, I'm at the airport and I need a ride. You know, that's in Bismarck, over an hour away. And by the way, do you have a place I can sleep? So try to figure that out before you come. We appreciate the love and everything, but try to be self-sufficient. You can call Prairie Nights Casino and Resort, but do it beforehand because they often book. You get put on a wait list and there's no rooms here. And so just remember, we're doing the best we can. Somebody had asked us, if you come and you see cigarette butts laying around or garbage laying around, pick it up. You know, we have to be instilling and enacting the way we're going to be defenders of the earth is by taking care of it. We don't want to see garbage laying around. We don't want to see cigarette butts laying around, you know, all those kinds of things. Gosh, what was the other thing? Shout out to Johnny again and Everett. You know who you are. They've been holding it down. You can donate to help us at ochetishakowingcamp.org. So please go there. And shout out to LaDonna Allard for holding it down over at Sacred Stone. You can donate to sacredstonecamp.org. And you can donate at indigenousrising.org and check out our media page at Indigenous Rising Media. That's our newest Facebook page. And so we are hopeful. We are remaining in prayer. There was a prayer vigil tonight at the Morton County Sheriff's Department. It was at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. That was a really good thing. And then we'll be in prayer again tomorrow and in ceremony. And so please, around the world, continue to send your prayers for us, because that is the thing that is making any of this possible and keeping us relatively safe. People did get shot by rubber bullets, you know, people did get injured, but the prayers have been keeping us safe. And we really need people to continue to do the Facebook check-ins, because all around the world, people are looking at the Facebook check-ins, and even if they don't know what it's about, they're calling us and saying, what's going on at Standing Rock? Why is everybody checking in? Literally, got a call from Russia, got a call from Ireland, got a call from Scotland, and they wanted to hear our story because of the Facebook check-ins. So that's pretty cool. So continue to check in and continue to get the story out there. And know that we're here, and we're not going to give up, but we had this little shimmer of hope from today that there might be potential delays. In the meantime, we're still here watching them over on the hill, and they have anywhere from 2 to 5 days where they're completely to the river. So they cannot get the easement to bore. It is so important to contact the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers DC office and plead with them and beg them not to allow the easement underneath the river. That's so important. That's the biggest, most important thing you can do here, because the power is completely rests on the DC U.S. Army Corps of Engineers offices. And it's scary, but we have this little tiny shining light, and so please feel free to share that. I'm going to go ahead and post that letter so that you guys know what letter I'm talking about when I talk about the letter that's going to be rescinded, so you could read it yourself and you could see what that's about. It's kind of a separate issue, but it's a kind of a good faith thing that they're rescinding that letter asking for more cops to come. And I'm going to go now, and I'm going to call Dallas back, because people were texting him and saying, is what Candy said true? Did they stop? I was like, no, I didn't say they stop completely. Once they get to the water and they don't have the permit, they have to stop. But they have 2 to 5 days to get to the water, and then they're going to be pushing for that easement to bore underneath. So they have to stop effectively, but there could be further delays beyond that. So that's what I was saying earlier. I'm going to post that letter, and we're still hopeful. We're still feeling good out here. We feel the shift. We feel the energy, we feel the love. We're so happy to our clergy that came. The clergy, there's, I think, 524 people of faith from all over the world that came and prayed with us the other day. And it didn't stop there. They went up to Bismarck, and they went to the governor's mansion, and they demanded to talk to the governor, and the governor wouldn't meet with them, and so they did a sit-in. 17 of them got arrested. 17 clergy people got arrested, and 4 other water protectors got arrested with them. So we appreciate them. And there's still a bunch here in the camp that are hanging out with us, and that's really nice, and they can see what we're kind of going through out here. So we're continuing to do the nonviolent direct action trainings. Really cool training today. There was over 200 people there, which was really cool to see. They marched around the camp singing, they were saying, Mini Michoni, water is life, and man, you should have seen the helicopters and airplanes. They're probably like, it's an uprising, they're coming, or something, I don't know. So we're in negotiations to get the bridge cleared. They're kind of stalling on their end. They're like, oh, we have to check the integrity, and oh, we have to see if, the bridge is safe. And it's like, well, the first thing you have to do is move out of the way, get off there, stop blocking it, stop blocking the northern access. Just north of the camp on Highway 1806, that bridge is still blocked by them. And so send your prayers for the glimmer of hope, for the possible delays, because we need to delay them. Continue to target the banks and target all of the people that are funding the project. And if you're a bank, one of those bank customers, walk away from them and tell them you're not going to support them if they support Dakota Access. And continue to check out with 350.org. Bill McKibben was here. He was in camp. Bill McKibben said to me, I will do anything, Candy, anything. What do you want me to do? I said, really? This is what I want you to do, Bill. I said, I want you to bring a plane over, and I want you to jump out of that plane with a parachute that says no DAPL. and I want you to fly in that parachute down and land on a horse that's running on the ground. And I want that horse to run into the police line so they can take you and get arrested for us. So he rescinded his statement about doing anything. So I just thought I'd end with a crazy story about what, be careful what you ask for. We had a meeting today, and I feel like in so many ways, I know we haven't won yet, but I feel like we can. I feel like we can win. It says, I'm not going to give up hope, even though their bulldozers are on the hill. Because they would have been done already if we wouldn't have done this, They would have already been, the project would have gone through, but we stood up as indigenous nations and we came together. And in so many ways, we've won on so many levels. They're looking at the NEPA process, the federal process. They're looking at Section 106, Dang it, I'm not supposed to cry. I'm happy. Those are happy tears. Because this is causing people to rethink the way we've been treated in this country as Native people. And it's causing people to look at the treaties, and to really think about what this country has been founded on. It's causing people to really think about what we've gone through and continue to go through as Native people in this country. And I want people to really think about, fracking and how harmful it is in our communities, because that's where this oil is proposed to come from, is the Bakken Shale oil fields in here in North Dakota, in my community. When we've already suffered so much we've suffered. And so, let's pray for Kelsey Warren, and maybe he'll have a change of heart, and he'll say, you know what, I don't want to invest in this dirty energy anymore. I want to invest in wind and solar. Wouldn't that be awesome? If we could change that guy's heart and change his mind, it's like, be on the right side of history. Maybe he's thought about it. I don't know. Plant the seed, and that's I'm rambling again. I did that the first time. I'm gonna go. That's my update, everybody. Much love to you all. Continue to send prayers for us out here, because we're tired. Some people are PTSD, really, getting attacked like that, looking like you're in a war zone. That's no joke. But we are regrounding in prayer and ceremony. Shout out to Chief Arvel Looking Horse, our spiritual leader. Just thank Creator for you, because you've really brought a lot of love into the camp, and we really need you. And we're so glad you're here with us, Arvel, to ground us in prayer and ceremony. And we're so happy that we're there. It hasn't always been easy, and we have had a lot of bumps along the way, and we've had a lot of things that have happened as we've been out here together, but I think those are just growing pains. The ground remembers the trauma from before. The very ground where we are had a lot of bad things happen 200 years ago, and so it remembers, but it remembers the love too, and we remember the love. And so this movement, this unity that's been created is the most important thing. And so Matigadads, please share this update and let people know that there's a glimmer of hope on the horizon. And in that little spark, you could feel it today in the camp. You could feel like that. Like, even if we could take a breath for one moment, and feel some level of happiness and not be walking around traumatized, that spreads. So that little pebble you throw in the water, that's happening. Call the Army Corps of Engineers offices. Be on the lookout for updates about the November 15th day of action to make, do not sign the easement to bore underneath. Matikadads, everybody. Have a really good night, and we'll I'm sorry about these things. Either later today or tomorrow. I was gonna get on here with Dallas. I don't know where he is. I'm gonna call him back right now.